All right, party people. This your man Grill. Folk out here acting crazy. I'm serious. They out here a little driving crazy down here on 58 going out in I'm in Suffolk, going out in the deeper parts of Suffolk. So first I want to say thanks to everybody, all the party people, for your likes, shares, and comments. Thank you for those who took the time out to donate. Hit the super thanks button that's down there by the join button. I thank you for donating for the content that you're looking at. Many of you appreciate the content and you're able to show your appreciation by donating $1 or $2 or $3 or however much you feel that you want. And I do appreciate each and every single donation. It's not taken lightly at all. Now, the other day, which was yesterday, today is the 24th, yesterday was the 23rd. So I did a video about notarial certificates, trying to understand them or helping people to understand them. And I had to turn my GPS on. And and what I realized was that people don't quite get what's going on with signing documents and the customer acknowledging them. Now, we're not talking about the jurat where they're swearing to, under oath, being put under oath that the answer they're giving is truthful. This is about the person acknowledging something. They're acknowledging the terms and conditions of that document. And something that I said yesterday that I want to spend a little time really making sure y'all understand where I'm coming from and what's going on here. The way contracts and agreements work is that the person who's signing it is saying that they truly and fully understand and agree with the terms and conditions of that contract or agreement that they're going into with this other entity. Now, no one is going into a contract or an agreement with us, the notary. So anything that they sign has nothing to do with us. It's between them and someone else. Which means typically the person should read the contract and make sure they understand it. Or they can have someone else read it, an attorney or whatever. And if they trust that attorney, and if that attorney says, yep, the terms and conditions of this contract, this agreement, this sales, whatever, is valid, it meets what your goals are, and it's not taking advantage of you, then most people will, of course, they will go ahead on and sign it. And they're like, okay, gotcha. They sign it. As I shared, they are agreeing with that document, with the terms in that document. When we step in to try to assist them in understanding what it is they're about to sign, that puts us in a position of liability, meaning we can be held liable because we're telling them something and they may not fully understand it. They're just all right, so sorry about that. Somebody called, spam call. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get this video. I've been trying forever. So when we assist them, we're basically trying to help them to understand what it is that they're about to do. If that person has not taken time out to read and comprehend and understand what it is, what they're getting into, the deal they're getting into, that's on them. Because in a court of law, they would not be allowed to be like, well, this is the notary fault. No, you should have read this yourself. You should have taken time out to read and understand. So what I'm trying to say is simply this, and I'm trying to say it in a very calm and nice way. Y'all know how I get. If you're going to sit here and guide, point to, read the first few paragraphs, the first few sentences, or whatever, just know that you could be potentially putting yourself in a position of liability if that person comes back and says, I didn't really understand what the notary said. That's essentially what's happening here. Now, I know that goes against all conventional wisdom from the NNA and a multitude of other so-called notary trainers out there. But let's just be real. That's what's happening. And if that's the thing that's happening, where's our protection as notaries, as business owner? Where's my protection to ensure that I don't get in trouble for going across that line of unauthorized practice of law? And I know most people say, well, this shouldn't be that's not a crime for you to just read the first two sentences. Maybe, maybe not. But you, as a business owner, need to find out and verify from your state whether or not you, in that role and position that you're doing as a notary, are you allowed to do that? And what is the line? When does it become unauthorized practice of law, and when it isn't? And most people have not done that. You have not done that. You have not checked into it and looked into it for yourself. You're just like, okay, well, this will help me get more money. This will be great customer service. But if they truly don't understand what you're saying, and you don't even understand what you're saying, all you know is you're just reading the first two lines, and then you're asking them, you get it? You understand? And then here's the thing that I've figured out sometime. You can read the first two lines in that on that document, but that still may not give the person the full essence of what the agreement is, or what it is that's talking about on that document. They might not be able to figure that out just off of 2 or 3 lines. You sometimes may have to read the whole thing in order to get what it is that they're saying in there. And if you read it and they can't comprehend what you're saying, or they don't want to read and comprehend, or they have a bit, that's where somebody has to be called in. So this whole thing of, the notary needs to be able to do certain things, I'm all for it if that's really what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm properly trained to do it. And some of these individuals' trainings that they have out here, they're not approved by the state. The state has not said, oh yeah, this is what you should and shouldn't be doing. So if the state hasn't given me carte blanche to do that, then I really need to be careful, because that person, and see, the question is that person can come back and say it was on me. And the problem is simply this. It really is this, in my opinion. Can you really trust that the signers won't throw you under the bus? If you can, then okay, go ahead on, do it. But just know you're taking a risk. And then the question is the money they're paying you worth the risk? And if it is, then cool, just stand by it. And I hope you got your grown people pants on and some Depends, and be ready for if the stuff hits the fan and you be up there, doing number 1 and number 2 on yourself. I'm just being real with you. So, I'm trying to figure this out. I really am, because I'm just trying to figure out, as somebody made a comment on the other video that I did about this from yesterday, the training one, the art of notarization, understanding notary certificate. They said, when did it become necessary for us to do this with the loan documents? That's the question. Because I'm telling you now, the trend right now that I'm seeing is moving from just the loan documents to other documents. I'm seeing people out there telling us to explain or to give some kind of guidance or to ensure that we're able to point to different things in the document, because everybody is just too daggone busy to read the documents for themselves and to take responsibility for the deal that they're getting into. So it's on us to come in there and do this thing. And see, at that point, as I've said many, many times, at that point, that's when I'm like, okay, I agree. That's what we really need to be paid some serious dollars, because we're taking on a level of liability that we shouldn't. And does my protect me? What protects me when I'm stepping in that role? And what is that role in any way? Because it's not notary. Doing that is not notary. So the E&O may not cover it whatsoever? That's the question. So I'm seeing more and more people telling us to do these things and to get us to do things. And I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, I guess I could speculate, but let me turn this air off. It's making me a little sleepy. It's so cold. But that's where we're at. Okay, that is where we're at. And I'm glad I came out here, because boy, this traffic is backed up. So I feel you. You want to do a good job. But as I've always said, you got to first define what your job is. And you need to have proof that what someone else outside of you say that's your job, that it is your job. And then you can walk in it and operate in it. But if it's not your job, it's okay for you not to do that. And if you do it anyway, then just be willing to stand on it. Stand 10 toes down. And most people don't want to do that. They want somebody else to take advantage, take the responsibility for it. So I know I sound like I'm all over the place. I'm a little tired too. But the bottom line is simply this. When that person signs that document, they are legally saying, I agree. That's what they're saying. I agree. Munch on something, got me some little cereal. That's what they're basically saying. I agree with the terms and conditions of this here agreement between me and that person over there that the notary has nothing to do with, because we got to be neutral. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm keep asking this. I really need somebody to articulate to me with evidence that I'm wrong. And if you feel that I'm right, and you have other evidence that supports what I'm saying, which would be based off of your state, then please provide evidence. Put the links in the chat. In the comment section. Hopefully, if the links don't work for some reason, let me know. Because sometimes you put them in there, I have to approve them and stuff. And I'll check them out, make sure there ain't nothing creepy. Or just direct people to where they need to go to find out. Because the question is what you're being told to do legal? And if it is, then cool. If it's not, then you should not be following it. But I'm asking, am I wrong in this here that the signer is agreeing to this deal, this contract, this agreement, whatever it may be, whatever they want to call it? This individual is agreeing to go in business or some type of contract with another person. And if they don't understand it, and then I step in and say, well, let me help you and give them some guidance on this to the point to where they make a decision and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead on and sign it. And it's based off of what I encourage them to do or help them to understand. Where's my liability at? And if there is none, then I need evidence to show that there is none. I can't just be told that there isn't any. I need evidence. Now, my evidence of everything that I'm saying was within my state law, and I've done videos on that, where my state law says that I'm not to help somebody to even understand the document that they're signing. So if that's what my state law says, then the question becomes, how can I do this? So for myself, I have evidence. I got proof. I've talked about it and showed people the state statute that says that. My question to all of y'all is, show me proof that the state statute is wrong. Show me where the back door to being able to do this lies at. And I know what most people are going to say. Well, you signed an independent contractor agreement that says you would. Independent contractor agreement doesn't trump state law. It doesn't whatsoever. All right, man. Orders starting to pop in. All right. So I think I've said enough on this subject. Give me your thoughts. I'm gonna have to merge the first video and this video together because I had to stop the first one. But yeah, give me your thoughts on this. They're like, man, they got me going down some serious back roads. And I'm serious. I would love to hear the discussion on this here. The bottom line is I need proof and evidence of what you're saying that I can do. And if you can show me clearly, then I'll do it. If you can't, then I'm not doing it. I'm doing what my state law says. And that's simply it, you know. And if you can respect my state laws, great. If you can't, I understand. You know, you don't have to, but I have to. That's really what it boils down to. And if somebody doesn't want to work with me in this industry because I'm gonna follow my state laws, and you rather pay somebody who's willing to go against them, then you have that right to. But when you're ready to do things right, hit me up. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.